I've been involved with YFC ever since I retired in December of 2011.
I used to go to YFC back in 1995, and I used to go out there whenever my friends went.
I started coming out to YFC when, I was like first grade, and that was back in 1998. And I was involved with YFC down through, pretty much my whole life, through being a student, being a student leader, and now a leader.
Well, I think it was way back in the early days, I don't know if it seemed like there had been somebody else kind of gotten things started. Then my husband was asked to serve as the director, It's pretty close to 70 years.
Well, YFC impacted my life because it sets guidelines and it sets me to achieve some goals, and I get to see more people and go to them when I need help, and it's just more positive things around me than negative.
Being a kid at that time in Lebanon and being a part of YFC was a big deal because it took you away from everything. And it taught you about things that a lot of kids weren't getting taught about at home.
I went to church, but I went to St. Mark's, and I didn't know a whole lot about being saved. And of course I learned more as I went with that group in there.
Back in 1995, there was a lot of drugs, in house parties. There were a lot of gangs back in that era, and I was involved with some of that stuff. And going, to YFC kind of got me away from that.
Kids didn't have drugs, and some did smoke as they got older, but they didn't do drugs and alcohol like they do today. And it was something to do, and it was a good bunch of kids, and we had fun.
Without YFC, I probably wouldn't be pursuing a degree in youth ministry at Lancaster Bible College. I wouldn't have the passion that I have for Jesus and for students that I do now. So the impact that YFC has had on me has just been huge.
Really, between the fellowship with Christian friends and the really good preaching, that's what drew me there.
The first year I was up at camp, one of the girls came down and she saw the stone on my ring, and she said she had fingernail polish the same color and wanted to know if she could polish my nails. And it was like a real bonding thing. I didn't think of it at the time, but I ran around with blue nails for a week, and now it's become a custom. So every year when I go up there, they repaint them 2 or 3 times, for that week in camp. But it is, just being with the kids and bonding with the kids. And a lot of them call me Grandpa, which I don't know if that's good or bad, but to be that close to them and have them allow me into their lives like that is real rewarding.
I learned about God and YFC, about never give up, even though if you don't see God working, doing things, he's still doing it, but you just can't see it happening.
Jesus Christ was like another stepping stone in my search for God.
Today the kids are just so drawn into groups and gangs and things like that. And I think you need the support of the good people to bring those people in that you need to convert. And so I think it's just a good ministry. And it's well worth the effort.
I never have been around another group of people that are so genuine and loving and caring like that group of people in YFC that, that taught me a lot of things, and that will always stay with me.
I was able to change my life spiritually, and always look for God. I always, no matter what happens, I was always, impacted by it. That's what made me.
We can't do enough for these young people. And I just marvel at those of you that are really dedicated to the cause.
There's so many different little personalities, and especially with the elementary kids, they're just bundles of energy, and they make me young.
I think that YFC would be very important for the kids today, just because the way Lebanon is today. I mean, if it was bad then, I could just imagine now. I have an 18-year-old, so I know how it is out there, and it's bad. And if there's any teenagers out there that are going through even half of what I went through as a child, as a teenager, this is the perfect place for them to be, for them to get the help that they need and be around good people and other peers that will lead them in the right direction.
We need to reach our young people. Young people desperately need the Lord these days, and it's becoming more and more difficult.
Yeah, YFC believes in the transformation of hearts through Jesus. YFC believes that God is at work in the city of Lebanon and the lives of our students, and YFC believes that God is just doing an amazing thing. And people should definitely keep praying for YFC and keep supporting YFC in any way they feel called, whether it's financially or whatever, because YFC has a testimony of our own lives being changed by Christ, and we believe that God is changing the lives of our students.